Hello. And before anything, I just want to say I'm sorry for not uploading as much as I used to. I had a video that was supposed to be posted a long time ago, like so long ago. A lot of stuff has been going on lately. The video in question was gonna be the homemade exhaust. I made one, and I was um I want to say I was successful, but well, currently will be successful. As of right now, it's it was made somewhere else, and that was the last thing I wanted to do. And I have so many clips of this, giving up on the exhaust. I think I gave up on it like two times trying to make it. I eventually did make it, sort of, yes and no, because the inspiration I had was for a C3 Corvette, and my neighbors have one. And I was wondering if I could like make an exhaust that was inspired, if not like fitted for those model of cars of the C3 Corvette. And I was talking about the full on side pipes that they go on the side skirt of the car. I want to do that. And man, I struggle a lot, but I will eventually get my own done because right now I have one made, but from a shop, and I don't really like it. For some reason, I feel like the sound is different when I have mine on, you know. But one of the main issues I had when I installed my exhausts and I had it on the road was because I used band clamps, and band clamps are pretty notorious for slipping off the exhaust. I mean, you can tighten them as tight as you want. Like I tightened mine really tight to the point where it was kind of warping the clamp itself. At one point, I just didn't know how to hold two pipes together, right? So at one point, I ended up deciding, okay, let me just tack those up, like, and put a couple tacks on the side, like three at least, or some self tap screws, like one on the bottom, two on the side, on both sides of the pipes. And yeah, I mean, it was going okay, but so another issue I encountered was the length, and it shouldn't have been an issue, but for some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't take into account that making the exhaust too long was, going to hit the tire, and that's what happened. Not the rear one, but the front one when I steer all the way. And at one point when I ended up driving on the road, I didn't notice that until I got on the freeway and I turned, and then as I was getting on the freeway, all I started hearing was like, it's the sound of metal scraping on concrete, basically. And I was like, damn, bro, like in my mind, I kept repeatedly saying I couldn't do this, I can't do anything right, that I hate myself for this, and I looked so stupid going down the road. I quickly got off and yeah, I took a picture. I might insert a picture, I might not. And yeah, just the driver's side exhaust just hanging like outward of the driver's side, and so I was like, man, I was just basically hating myself because I couldn't do anything right with the exhaust. So I just I kicked it down, well, whatever the exhaust hanger was holding it in place. I kicked it downward and I just put it in the car and just drove off like that slowly, knowing that the other side might fall off too. So I get in the car, I drive home, you know, I started like having a mental breakdown because man, it was just so hard on me, because I tried so hard to do it right, and well, I failed, and I took it really, really personal. I ended up taking it like a day of a break, so I continue again, right, and there's still more stuff like even before this, stuff messing up before I even started the exhaust, which kept prolonging it even further. So I ended up taking like a day off and just taking a break from it, and because I needed it, my head was hurting so much of being under the car, being out of the car, adjusting something, fixing it, and then going back under, test fitting it, and getting brakes because I don't really have like 2F4s, so I ended up using brakes. So that's what I have here. Putting putting some in place, and then wedging some to make it a little higher, and then this was all under the car too. On laying down, just trying to make it work. Just all day like that, and so I took a break. Next day, I tried it again, and I shortened it to make it fit. And then the rubber isolators that I had that hold the exhausts via hangers, they broke. Both of them broke. And I was like, oh my God. Like they just tore apart when I tried to take it out. And it was stuck. It was one of those ones where you just had a little like mushroom head and you just try to pull it out so hard. And mine was at the end. I wanted to reuse that one. But like my car was on ramps because my jack didn't work. Because when I tried to pump it, it no pressure gave in. So there was probably air in the system. I had to bleed it out and all that stuff. But how can I do that if I don't have another car? So and I know I could have probably called somebody, but the thing is, I wanted to do it all myself. So my car was on ramps, and since our rubber isolator was very much nearby the rear passenger side tire, I could barely breathe like all the way because of like the incline of the angle of the car was just on my chest, and I was just like really close, just trying to get it, but it was a tough time, and once it broke, I was like, oh brother. And I ended up trying to reuse the ones that I had in my old exhaust, but I didn't know how I was gonna make it work with my J hooks that I had. So I was like, oh my God. So at one point I didn't know what to do, and I was like, you know what? I'll just go to the exhaust shop and get my inspiration installed and made in an exhaust shop. And I didn't feel much better. Well, I felt a little better because I got the sound, I got the look ish. I don't like how the exhaust tip is kind of angled. I like the way how I made mine. And then overall, the exhaust that I just made myself, I feel a lot better installing it myself. And I feel like I'm the worst person to install exhaust because I take too long, I think. This is my first time making my own exhaust, but I've seen people who I don't know if it's their first time, but I think I've seen a few videos of people getting their entire custom exhaust installed in one day or in just a few hours, and that is very impressive. And I tried doing that, but it's I don't know how or why I couldn't do that. You know, so and it's still going to get done. But as I said, there's like a lot of things happening. Uh, a lot of choices, a lot of decisions. I'm still going to keep the car, like regardless. Um, but I'm getting another vehicle for a daily, and I'm going to be using that as a daily, and I'm going to keep the car Rain as a project car. So whenever I'm not working, I can just go out of my way and just continue working on the car, whatever it can be, whatever. It could be anything from like headers or engine mods, which I've been trying to do. But let's say, for example, headers, right? I want to use Mustang headers. I'm not going to spend $2,000 on headers because I'm just really cheap, and I mean, it's just pipe. Angling the pipe to wherever you want it to be. There's got to be a way. I've seen people do them. So, let's say, for example, headers, like I said, if you want to install, even if it was stainless, like the stainless works headers, which are $2,000, if you're going to install those on the car, and this was your only car as a daily, and this was your only form of transportation, if you wanted to install headers, let's say, for example, a bolt breaks, when you're trying to remove the exhaust manifold. And now you got to extract it. And, if you don't have an extractor, you have to go buy one. But how are you going to go buy one if, the store is probably like 5 minutes away, but walking distance is probably going to take you twice as long or maybe more. I don't know. That's time right there. And, you barely have enough room to, let's say, drill to the threaded part and extract it. You start getting stressed out, and maybe it's multiple. If it's just one, maybe you can get away with it. But if it's multiple, it's gonna be a tough time. Especially if your entire exhaust is stock, then you're gonna have to figure out a way how to mount the longitude patterns with the stock exhaust. And that's one side. If you were to have like a bolt break on one side, now you got to think about the other side. The other side could be worse. Maybe all of them break. All the bolts, the manifold bolts, the heads break off and stuff. It's gonna be worse. And now you got to put everything back together before you go to work because that's the only form of transportation. So I'm just thinking like, man, I need to get another car because, or another daily, because I think the term you can't make your daily a project car because probably like this stuff will catch up to you eventually at one point. And so that's when I admit like, yeah, you know what, you're right. The thing about when I'm trying to upload videos is I wanted to do them in order, like the exhaust. I wanted that to be next. I wanted to be the next big thing that I was going to do. And I did learn a lot, even though here's the thing. Like I have my exhaust made, the one that I made, it's still in the shed already made. I just got to install it, but I need time to do that. Figure out where to place the hangers and, hold it up, position it, all that stuff. I just need a little bit more time for that. Uploading videos in order, I mean, it's good. I don't want to confuse like any viewers by saying, wait, did you do this first or you did this first? And at what point did you do this to make this work? And I don't want to do that, but I might, I don't know. Or maybe I might upload different videos by reviewing stuff, but about the car, it might have to be in order if it's not related to one thing or another. Like if I'm doing something in the interior and it has nothing to do with the exhaust, that's when I might like ignore the uploading videos in order thingy. So yeah, well, I guess I upload like different videos. But I really wanted the exhaust video to be the one, the big one that for big to me that was going to like really pop off for me. I know I'm rambling a lot, and I just wanted to let people know what's been going on. There's still more to the story, of me prolonging this exhaust video. All right, and yeah, like I gotta go now, and I try to upload more videos. They're still like car related, but it won't be probably of the car itself, at least my car. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys when I upload the next video. So peace.